Have you ever walked into a room or maybe sat down for a chat where you just felt that little bit of pressure, to make a really strong first impression?
Oh, definitely.
Maybe it's like starting a new project, meeting people you might work with, or let's be honest, the classic job interview situation.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Today, we're taking a bit of a deep dive into some ideas all about mastering that art, introducing yourself effectively.
Hmm.
And while we'll look closely at job interviews, honestly, these insights, they're useful pretty much anywhere you want to connect and, feel confident.
Exactly. We've been digging into this really insightful discussion from the English pod community over on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And what's great is how practical it is, just down-to-earth advice. And they use these relatable, like, real-life examples for showing how to present yourself well.
Okay, good. So our mission today really is to give you some actionable strategies and a deeper feel for what makes that first impression actually stick.
Right. More than just the handshake and hello.
Yeah, we're not just talking basic greetings here. We want to unpack the key things that let you show your value, leave that positive, lasting mark. Whether it's for a job, networking, or just feeling a bit more self-assured meeting new people, we're going beneath the surface.
And it really kicks off with just recognizing how much weight that initial introduction carries. Think about it, kind of sets the stage, doesn't it? Those first moments really shape the whole interaction that follows.
Yeah, the source material actually prompts you right at the start to think about your own experiences.
Wow.
Like, have you been in that spot, maybe an interview, asked to introduce yourself? How did it feel? Did you feel like you nailed it, or did the nerves kind of kick in?
Uh-huh. And what's interesting is how the source reframes that classic question, tell me about yourself.
Yeah, always feels like a test.
Right, but instead of seeing it as this scary hurdle, it presents it as a real opportunity. Like, this is your moment to actually shine.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Let's use some of those examples from the source. First up, there's Mark Thompson interviewing for marketing.
Yep.
His intro is something like, "Hello, Mark Thompson. Been in marketing about 5 years, focused on social media strategy, content creation, team leadership. Previous role, led a campaign, got 30% growth in online presence in a year."
That's specific.
Yeah. And then really passionate about digital marketing, excited to contribute my skills here.
See, Mark doesn't just list stuff.
Right.
He immediately connects experience to a result, that 30% growth. That's powerful evidence right there.
Totally.
And he flags his key skills, wraps up with enthusiasm for this job. It answers that silent question, why should I care? Highlight skills, clear achievement.
Exactly. Okay, then there's Sarah Green, customer service role.
Right.
She says, "Hi, Sarah Green. 3 years in customer service, got strong skills handling complaints, finding solutions, staying calm under pressure."
Key skills for that role.
Totally. Genuinely enjoy problem solving, making sure customers have a positive experience. Think my patience and communication would be great for your team.
So Sarah focuses right on those crucial soft skills: patience, communication, handling pressure, vital for customer service. And she signals she actually enjoys the work. That shows enthusiasm, dedication. It says she gets what it takes.
And one more, James Carter. He really draws a line from his past experience to the new job.
How so?
He goes, "Hello, James Carter. Background in project management, 4 years experience successfully leading teams, managing budgets for projects. Then very interested in this opportunity, eager to apply my skills here, contribute to your goals."
Yeah. What jumps out there is how fast he establishes relevant background. 4 years, successfully leading teams, quantifiable stuff.
Right.
He makes his relevance super clear. Tells the interviewer, okay, this guy's done this before, probably can do it for us.
So the big takeaway here seems to be that a strong intro is strategic, right? Highlighting key skills, relevant experience, genuine enthusiasm.
Absolutely.
It's not just reading your resume out loud. It's connecting past wins to future success for them.
Exactly. And the source actually takes it a step further. It gives a really useful, almost like a template sentence structure to help you practice and kind of internalize these elements.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Wow.
it. Hello, my name is Your Name, and I've been working in your field for a number of years. I'm particularly passionate about specific skill area, and I've mentioned a specific achievement. I'm really excited about the opportunity to contribute to your team.
Ah, I see. That hits all the points, doesn't it? Name, experience, passion, proof, enthusiasm.
Precisely. It prompts you to include all those essentials we've been talking about. It's a great starting point for crafting your own.
And the source makes a good point. Practicing this isn't just for big interviews.
No, definitely not.
It's great for just building confidence, talking about yourself generally, like networking events, conferences, even just casual professional chats.
That's right. It really boils down to three core things. Clarity, being concise about who you are, what you offer. Confidence, projecting self-assurance, which comes from practice.
Yeah.
And relevance, tailoring it to who you're talking to.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, naturally, once you've, nailed the intro, the conversation moves on. You ace the opening and then bam. So why do you want to work here? Or tell me about your strengths and weaknesses.
The inevitable follow-ups. And the advice here is pretty straightforward. Keep your answers focused. Keep them genuine.
Right.
For that why work here question, the source uses an example of, say, a health products company.
Yeah.
It suggests focusing on how your values align with their mission.
Ah. Oh.
So expressing belief in health, interest in their work, their team, it shows motivation beyond just needing a job.
Right, shows you've thought about them.
Yeah.
And for why should we hire you? What's the angle there?
The example emphasizes relevant experience, obviously, but also teamwork skills, being willing to learn, and just being reliable. It's about showing you'll be a valuable, dependable person on the team without sounding, arrogant.
Makes sense. Now, what's interesting is the source then shifts to nonverbal stuff.
Yes, this is huge. It underlines that your words are only part of it. How you carry yourself, your physical presence, that has a surprisingly big impact.
Absolutely. We're talking basics, but they matter. Sit up straight. Make good eye contact. Not staring, but connecting. Speak clearly, not too fast, and, a genuine smile helps.
These seem small, but add them up, and they really affect how confident and engaged you look.
Totally.
There's that anecdote about Ahmed. Great experience, spoke clearly, but he just didn't make eye contact.
Oh, yeah.
And it made him seem uncertain. Apparently, it cost him the job initially.
Yeah.
Really shows how powerful those nonverbal signals are.
Wow. Okay, so shifting back to questions, those sometimes awkward ones about strengths and weaknesses. Strengths first.
Yeah, for strengths, the advice is keep it simple, keep it honest, like the examples. Being organized, good at planning, being a team player who helps colleagues.
Right, nothing too outlandish.
Exactly. You don't need to invent some superpower. Clear, relatable strengths, maybe with a quick example, are way more effective.
Okay. And the weakness question always feels like a trap.
Huh. It can feel that way. But the source gives a really useful strategy. Be honest, yes, but crucially, frame it as something you're actively working on.
Ah, the improvement angle.
Precisely. The example of someone who tends to take on too much, super relatable.
Guilty.
Right. But the key is mentioning how they're dealing with it, like prioritizing, using lists. It shows self-awareness and that you're committed to getting better.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, this leads us nicely into the STAR method.
Ah, yes, STAR.
The source brings this up as a really strong way to handle those behavioral questions, the tell me about a time when type thing.
Exactly. Those questions are all about understanding how you've acted in past situations. The idea being past behavior predicts future performance, right? So for anyone unfamiliar, STAR stands for situation, task, action, result. It's basically a structured way to tell a story about a past experience.
Okay, walk me through it.
It helps you clearly show your skills and how you use them.
The source uses James again, right?
Yeah.
Managing a report for a new client.
That's the one. He breaks it down. The situation, critical project, tight deadline. The task, gather and organize lots of customer feedback.
Okay.
The action he took, delegated some tasks, but he personally put together the final report and presentation. And the result, happy client, signed a big contract, motivated team.
So it's not just saying what happened.
Exactly. It's not just recounting events. STAR is a framework for showing real skills and impact through a memorable story.
And the key seems to be telling that story clearly.
Absolutely. James used simple language, explained his role, what he did, and stressed the positive outcome. Clear storytelling.
We also get their other STAR example, Sarah, at the bakery.
Oh yeah, the busy day when a coworker was out sick.
Right. Situation. Short-staffed during a rush. Task. Juggle serving customers and overseeing baking.
High pressure.
Totally. Action. She made a quick plan, prioritized, stayed focused despite the chaos. Result. Bakery ran smoothly. Manager praised her handling of it.
Again, it's relatable, right?
Yeah.
Shows problem solving under pressure, staying calm, taking responsibility. These stories make your skills feel much more real to the interviewer.
Definitely more impactful than just saying, I'm good under pressure.
Precisely.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit. Towards the end of the interview, you almost always get that question. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes. Crucial moment.
And the source basically says, don't say no.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Asking thoughtful questions shows you're genuinely interested, you're engaged, you're thinking proactively.
So what are good questions to ask?
The examples are great starting points. What's a typical day like in this role? What are the biggest challenges the team's facing right now?
Okay, those are good.
Or how does the company support employee development? What's the team dynamic like? They're all polite, insightful questions. Show you've been listening and you're seriously considering the fit.
There's that anecdote about David again, isn't there?
Yeah, where he initially just said, no, I think I'm good.
Ouch.
Yeah, apparently it hurt his chances. He realized later that showing curiosity is a really key part of that final impression.
Right. Which brings us to confidence. Big topic.
Mm-hmm. The source tackles that common feeling, the nerves.
We all get them.
Exactly. And it offers a helpful perspective.
Right.
Confidence isn't about not being nervous. It's about having the courage to try your best despite the nerves.
I like that. It's about pushing through it.
Yeah. And preparation and practice. They're the building blocks for that confidence.
Makes sense.
Even if English isn't your first language, the source emphasizes that showing honesty, taking ownership of your learning, being willing to improve, that's what really resonates.
So how do you practice effectively?
The tips are pretty practical. Say your answers out loud. Record yourself. Yeah, it feels weird, but you spot things. Role play with someone.
Feedback.
Exactly. It helps you get comfortable, refine your delivery, and again, don't underestimate a real smile.
No.
It affects how you're seen and how you feel.
The story about John is great here, preparing like crazy for that delivery coordinator interview, even though he felt self-conscious about his English.
Yeah, really inspiring. His hard work, dedication, positive attitude, that's what shone through and got him the job.
It really proves it's not just about perfect grammar, is it?
Not at all. It's the whole package. Presentation, enthusiasm, genuine desire. Which leads into digging deeper into nonverbal communication.
Right, beyond just sitting up straight.
Yeah, like your body language the second you walk in, your posture, how you walk, that initial smile, the greeting, the handshake even.
Creates an instant impression.
Subconscious, often. And it continues when you sit down. Keeping good posture, hands relatively still not fidgeting, engaged eye contact. It all signals attentiveness, professionalism.
And tone of voice too, right?
Definitely. Speaking clearly, at a good pace, not too rushed, not too slow, a friendly tone. It projects relaxation, preparedness, even if you're churning inside.
Yeah.
The anecdote about Anna getting the receptionist job, despite a few grammar mistakes,
Yeah.
it really highlights how politeness, clear speech, positive attitude, that whole demeanor can sometimes outweigh small language errors.
Yeah.
How you make people feel.
Okay, so before you even get to the interview room, there's homework to do.
Absolutely vital step. Pre-interview prep. Specifically, researching the company.
Not just glancing at the About Us page.
Exactly. The source is clear. Just reviewing your resume isn't enough. You need to understand their work, their values, their priorities, explore the website, mission statement, products, services. It's crucial.
That example of David researching the warehouse company.
Spot on.
And then mentioning his commitment to safety in the interview.
Perfect. It shows he took the initiative, understood what matters to them, and aligned his own values. That screams genuine interest.
And it doesn't even take that long, really.
No, the source points that out. Relatively small time investment, but the impact can be huge.
Okay, practicalities. Heading to the interview, what should you actually bring?
Essentials. Multiple clean copies of your resume, even if you send it online, have backups. Shows preparedness.
Good tip.
A notebook and pen. For jotting things down, questions that pop up, highly recommended.
Right.
And obviously, appropriate clothes. Clean, neat, respectful. That's just basic.
Okay. Now, to really hammer this home, the source includes some role-playing scenarios. Model answers to common questions.
Yeah, these are super helpful. Let's walk through a couple.
First, the classic. Why are you interested in this job?
Right. A strong answer, according to the source, focuses on genuinely enjoying that kind of work, linking your past experience to this role, and showing you understand and align with their company values or mission.
So making that connection again.
Exactly. Showing real interest in them.
Okay, next. Tell me about a time you helped a customer solve a problem.
The example uses Emma at a clothing store. Highlights her listening skills, how she offered different solutions, made sure the customer left happy. Shows problem solving, customer focus.
Makes sense. Then what's your biggest strength?
The model answer focuses on staying calm under pressure, But crucially, it's backed by a specific example solving a tricky delivery issue. Makes this strength believable.
Right. The proof. And finally, the dreaded, what's your biggest weakness?
Huh. The example given is about maybe spending too much time checking work.
Okay.
But the key part is what follows. Outlining the strategy for improvement, like setting time goals, seeking feedback to balance quality and speed.
Ah, showing you're aware and actively managing it.
Precisely. These scenarios offer great templates. Notice how each good answer uses specific examples, focuses on positive outcomes, and shows that commitment to growth.
Okay, so the interview is winding down. How you leave is important too, right?
Just as important as how you entered. The source stresses a polite, professional closing.
Which means,
Always explicitly say thank you for their time, for the conversation. Reiterate your interest in the job. Briefly mention you look forward to hearing about next steps.
okay,
And mentioning you'll send a thank you email. Good touch. Reinforces professionalism.
right. Now, let's get into slightly trickier stuff. Unexpected questions, maybe handling disagreements.
Yeah, good point. The scenario about disagreeing with a coworker is useful.
What was the approach there?
James suggests trying the coworker's method first. It shows respect, open-mindedness, collaboration, even if he thinks differently.
Smart, handles conflict constructively, and making a mistake.
The example with Rachel sending an email error. Key things.
Yeah.
Taking immediate responsibility, acting fast to fix it, being honest with her boss.
Okay, own it, fix it, report it.
Basically, yeah. And all these scenarios, they really point back to the power of mindset.
How so?
The source really emphasizes how much your self-belief, that internal chat you have with yourself, impacts your success.
Right. That anecdote about Thomas overcoming language barriers through sheer hard work and positivity.
Exactly. A great reminder that your mindset and your actual experience, what you have done, that's what really counts.
Okay. What about that future question? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
The advice is, show you've got some direction, you're serious about developing. Sarah's example, wanting to grow skills, take on more responsibility, contribute meaningfully to the company. It's forward-thinking, but realistic.
And working under pressure, we touched on that.
Yeah, the key is a specific example, like managing a big rush of orders. How did you stay calm? Make a plan. Work with the team. Tell that story.
And keep answers concise, right?
Definitely. Focus on one clear story or idea per answer. Don't ramble. Make it easy to follow and impactful.
The source also gives some useful phrases, doesn't it? Like little building blocks.
Yeah, really handy, adaptable phrases. Things like, I'm a fast learner, I enjoy learning new things, I take my work seriously, always try my best.
Okay.
Comfortable in a team, but can also work well alone. Believe communication is key. Always on time, very reliable.
Standard stuff, but good to have ready.
Exactly. Practice them, adapt them to your own style.
And phrases specifically to show interest in the company.
Yeah, like, I've been researching your company, really admire your focus on quality service, etc. Or, I'm excited about the chance to be part of your team because specific reason. Small things, big impact.
Okay. What about the why did you leave your last job question? Can be tricky.
Always frame it positively. Focus on seeking new growth, new challenges. Even if it was a layoff, state it factually. No negativity or blaming.
Got it. Keep it professional.
Always.
We mentioned asking questions earlier. Any more examples of good ones?
Yeah, digging a bit deeper, like how does the team typically collaborate on projects? Or
Yeah.
what are the main goals for someone in this role in the first 6 months or year?
Showing you're thinking about hitting the ground running.
Exactly. And asking about professional development, growth opportunities, also shows that forward-thinking mindset.
Okay, let's quickly revisit body language during the interview itself. Just reinforce those key things.
All right. Sit up straight, relaxed, but attentive. Arms relaxed, not crossed. Appropriate, genuine smiles. And then engaged eye contact. Consistent signals of confidence and interest.
And if you get a really tough question, like that weakness one again.
Strategy is the same.
Yeah.
Honesty first. Frame it as an area for improvement. And crucially, give concrete examples of how you're working on it.
Like the example of focusing too much on details.
Yeah. And the strategy being setting deadlines for yourself, actively seeking feedback to find that balance. Shows proactive self-management.
What about handling tight deadlines, but maybe more from a team perspective?
The source gives an example of coordinating a team under pressure. Key elements. Breaking the big job into smaller tasks. Setting clear mini-goals. Constant communication. Fostering teamwork.
Makes sense. Divide and conquer, communicate constantly. Now, salary expectations. Always awkward.
Can be. A good technique is to gently turn it back initially. Ask more about the responsibilities first to understand the full scope.
Get the context.
Exactly. Then, when you do give a number, offer a range based on your research. And always add that you're open to discussing the total compensation package benefits, etc. Keep it flexible.
Good approach. And a final quick word on attire.
Prioritize professionalism, neatness. Even if the company seems casual, dressing up a bit shows respect for the process. Err on the side of smarter.
Right. And closing the interview again, just lock that down.
Express gratitude. Thank you for your time. Reiterate interest. I'm very interested in this role. Looking forward to hearing about next steps. Simple, polite, effective.
And crucially, don't get discouraged if one doesn't work out right.
Absolutely vital. View every single interview as a learning experience. What went well? What could you improve? It's all part of the journey.
Okay, which brings us to something often missed. Following up after the interview.
Yes. So important, yet so many people skip it or mess it up.
This can really make a difference.
Huge difference. Sending that thank you email reinforces your professionalism, your interest. The anecdote about Daniel, his timely, personalized follow-up, that can genuinely tip the scales.
And there's a template in the source.
Yeah, a simple, polite, concise template. Key is to send it pretty quickly.
How quickly?
Within 24 to 48 hours is ideal. Keeps you fresh in their mind while they're making decisions.
Okay. And while you're waiting, just sit and bite your nails. Well,
Stay proactive. Keep honing your skills. Maybe do even more research on the company. Lucy's example using that waiting time productively actually boosted her confidence for the next interview, whatever happened with the first one.
good point. Keep the momentum going. What if you get multiple offers? Good problem to have, but tricky.
Right. The advice is be honest and professional. If you need more time to decide, politely ask the second company for it. Give a reasonable time frame. Clear, respectful communication is key.
And dealing with rejection, because it happens.
It does. It's normal. The source encourages sending a brief thank you note anyway, even after a no. And maybe politely asking if they have any feedback.
Oh, asking for feedback.
Now, phrase it carefully, like, if you have any feedback that might help my future job search, I'd be grateful. Some won't respond, but some might give you invaluable insights.
Worth a try. So throughout this whole thing, mindset is key.
Absolutely paramount. That positive, confident mindset built through practice and learning from every single experience, that has a cumulative effect. It really increases your chances over time.
So, okay, let's try and wrap this up. The core message seems to be that mastering introductions, nailing interviews, it's not a one-off task.
No, it's a journey. Continuous learning, reflecting, practicing.
We really hope you take some of these strategies we've unpacked today and actually try them out.
Yeah, apply them. Remember, every interaction, not just formal interviews, is a chance to practice and refine these skills.
And finally, here's something to maybe chew on a bit. Just think for a moment. How could consciously shaping those initial interactions, even the informal ones, way beyond job interviews, how could that potentially open up unexpected doors? New opportunities, personal, professional. What's maybe one small change, something actionable you could do today to make your first impression just that little bit more impactful?